What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a POV analysis of Vindicta, one of the fastest NA Terrans, or the fastest perhaps. Last week he really popped off in the World Team League, winning 5 games in a row for his team, including against obviously really famous Protoss player Haas and Korean Protoss Puzzle. And I just really wanted to see how he did it. I haven't been uploading too many POV analysis recently. It's became a little bit harder after global finals ended and there's been a bit of a break in the tournaments. So I thought perfect time to highlight a few people we don't usually get to see on the channel. Now with Vindicta I'm really good friends, so I'm happy I'll be able to go over some of his games. Obviously if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel guys. I've been uploading every single day and would really appreciate any sub I can get. Now let's see, so far we're just going to go standard. I think Vindicta is usually a macro player. I actually got to know him as a pure late game beast. I feel like he would usually not do too much crazy stuff, but he would go to the late game and he would be super good in it. Kind of like a Lil Maru in a way, I guess. Lil Maru doesn't play like that anymore against Protoss. Like most people have given up on that at this point, so let's see if Vindicta still goes that right. So far this is the most standard game I've ever seen. SCV scout at a normal time. He did cancel that Reaper to go for a Marine, which is interesting. I'm gonna jump onto Vindicta's POV in a little bit. But judging from the APM in the early game, he's probably spamming a lot, and I don't want to make you guys too dizzy. So I'll do that in a little bit. And then we can enjoy the real speed and action later. Let's see what build this is. I do really love watching games of Terrans of any level, because I feel like everyone just does different builds. No matter if it's like low GM, mid GM, high GM, pro or not. I feel like everyone has very interesting builds. Oh, he's gonna go for a second barracks, alright. Actually, I didn't expect this. Looks like it's probably gonna be a 3 racks from Vindicta then. Or some kind of weird 2-on-1, but I feel like I haven't really seen anyone do 2-on-1s. Yeah, exactly. 3 racks it is. From a Marine first as well. Okay, I used to do this build myself, but I haven't done it in a while. And this is what I'm talking about, you know. Vindicta basically just reminded me that this build exists. So maybe I'll try it out again. See how it works out for me. It's actually gonna do a 3 racks with a bunker. I have to be honest, usually when I 3 racks I do skip that bunker. So it is interesting for me to see him build it. Obviously it is a lot safer to build that. Guess he's just a little bit more legit than me, you know. Adept is coming across here. I really like what Puzzle was doing by keeping a prober, by the way. Just a small highlight, because you can see everything that goes to the middle of the map in that case. Now he already has 3 Marines out, right? But he sent a bit to the main. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a mind game to hide the fact that he went for a reactor before the factory. Because you can also play Marine Factory Reactor, and in that case you would not have 2 Marines out. So either that was just a random rally, or it's a cool mind game. I guess we'll never know until I ask him. Now let's see what Puzzle's doing. Let's see what Vindicta's gonna have to prepare for. Looks like a standard blink opener with a second gate. Probably a very normal third base timing, I would guess. At the same time, Vindicta obviously getting stim, gonna get combat shield soon. He did cut a bit of gas as well, so he was able to afford that bunker, but still get everything in time. That's nice. Ooh, wait, there's actually 4 gases in a row being dropped down here by Puzzle. Maybe this is actually a crazy build. You know, my favorite POV analysis are actually when the Protoss does builds that I personally struggle against, and then I get to see what the answer is, you know. And I think 2-base, like fast tech, especially fast Colossus, is something that's really tough for me to play against. So, yeah, if Vindicta completely shuts that down, that would just be perfect for me. Gonna go for an eBay here. Ooh, might actually catch his Adept there. That's a really good move. You should always try this, by the way. If the Adept is here and it's just an Adept, you should always send your Marines try to kill it, because either they have to keep paying attention to it, or they'll forget it at some point. They'll be able to snipe the Adept just like that, which is just fantastic. 2 Marauders up. I imagine he's gonna move out with those 2 Marauders. That's usually how I play against Blink. 2 Marauders finish. You see, you're only making Marines, and then the 2 Marauders pop up, and then you move out with them. That's like the perfect timing. Once again, man, I think this probe is really cool by him. As a Terran, you could, for example, if you have like a Reaper or a Hellion left over from the early game, you could put it there. And that honestly helps so much. Now, it does actually... Okay, so it feels like Puzzle knows it's a 3 racks and he's playing really safe, because this is really not what you would normally do against a Terran build. Like making 3 sentries and camping in your natural. I feel like Puzzle is very well aware of what's going on here. Now, we are about to hit the 5-minute mark, so I'm going to be going on to Vindicta's POV. Let's see how fast he really is. I did instantly see an observer above his army that he didn't. He's literally following his Marauder, I think. Or maybe it hooked off already. I was seeing it before. Now I don't actually see it. Where did the observer go? Ah, there, he went back up. Okay. I wasn't crazy, I knew it. Alright, let's see what you got, Vindicta. Factories going down at the same time. And now... Oh, that's a really cool scout, by the way, actually confirming that third. Sees it's literally just being planted. If that third was already up for a bit longer, he probably would have tried to do some kind of cool counterattack. Trying to finish the game off a bit faster. But it's a late third, so he feels pretty safe. He even throws down the scam. Okay, I think that's a bit of a crazy move, to be honest. Scanning feels so expensive, but... Yeah, it really shows that he likes to play very legit. He doesn't want to take any risks. Even though his opponent is honestly quite good. Puzzle's definitely a good Korean Protoss. So he just wants to play it really safe. He's gonna get his third base up. One thing that's really cool that he's doing right now is that he's skipping Marines, as you can see. He's only making Marauders. Only making the quality units to save money. And that makes sense, because Marines, honestly, Marines against Colossus, they are disgustingly bad. I can tell you guys that. So, I really like that he's only getting Marauders here. Probably gonna add 2 more barracks too, if I had to guess. Let's see. He's definitely jumping all over the place. Are you guys getting dizzy yet, or are we good? I mean, you guys won't be able to tell me until the video's out, so that's a bit unfortunate. But anyway, he's not attacking right now, so we can jump off that POV for a little bit. Look at his army. This is what I really like to see. I don't know if you guys remember the private lesson series I used to do on YouTube, but legit, every single TVP I got, it was Terrans just making too many Marines against Protoss and dying. Like, private lesson, I would do some private coaching, subscribers would send in replays, and every single TVP they would lose because they would have like 45 Marines against, you know, 2 Colossus, and they would just get one tapped. But Vindicta has a very... This is actually a very nice Marauder count here. I love to see this. That's on this army looks beautiful to me, honestly. At the same time, he's actually going for tanks. Okay, that's a really cool choice. Makes sense against the Robo Bay. Normally, I do not recommend going for tanks. Now, Vindicta's going in again, so let's see how he does this. It's a small... He has like 5 Marines there on the left side. Like, it looks like a small army, right? But that could totally just kill 5 probes off the bat. And then it would be really awesome. Now he did get spotted, though. Or did he? There we go. Wow, this is such a cool move, guys. I actually freaking love what I'm seeing right now. 6, 7, 8, 9 probes for that. Oh my, that was actually a fantastic move. I love what I just saw. That was beautiful. And still, he's sticking up with a very good composition. Like, once again, guys, he's not making any Marines for the most part, just Marauders. And it totally makes sense if you just look at the army Puzzle had. He moved out, and he saw Puzzle had Stalker, Sentry, Colossus, basically. And Marines would suck against this. Marauders, honestly, very, very good. Oh, he needs to be careful here. This is a very force-fieldable area. I always think Glittering Ashes is so good for turtle players, because, like, this area, you just can't cross that. Alright, does he have anything else on the map? He's making a missile turret here. Anti-prism in here as well. Definitely cool move. Vindicta has actually impressed me so far. I didn't expect to see so many cool moves in like the first 8 minutes of a game. Alright, so he has the tank. That tank is awesome, by the way. That tank is gonna force Puzzle to go in. But Vindicta's army here is actually insane. Like, I know Puzzle's army looks strong, but this is a concave full of Marauders, guys. And to me, it looks like Puzzle's actually getting crushed here. I think Puzzle probably should have recalled there at the end, maybe when he saw he was losing already. And wow, that was an amazing fight. And legitimately, guys, I'm gonna say it one more time, but the fact that he had so many Marauders and Marines definitely saved him there. If that was Marines running into those force fields, he honestly would have lost 20 of them in like 2 shots. But now he takes an amazing fight. And I feel like the opening of this game wasn't even that good for Vindicta with, you know, the 3 racks against the 2-base Colossus. Puzzle had a good read. But still, comes out of it in a fantastic position. Now he's actually starting Marines again, because he does see charge lots on the way. Now, how is he going to deal with his defense at home? He just abandons his 3rd base. Totally acceptable move, of course, considering that's 5 Zealots. And honestly, 5 Zealots, you need like probably like 10 bio units to deal with that. So, just gathering his reinforcements and stuff. Good choice. Only loses 4 SCVs. Obviously, rather would have lost 0, but because you always have like some stray SCVs coming out of the gas and stuff, that is pretty much impossible. Now, one thing I do have to criticize is that I haven't really seen the upgrades continue. Does he have an armory? Seems like he did forget the armory and all of that. It's a little bit of a shame. I think in TVP, if you get behind in upgrades, the fights become pretty much unwinnable. Like if you're 1-1 against 2-2. Obviously here there's nothing to worry about because Puzzle doesn't even have a single upgrade. Puzzle was all in with that attack. I didn't even realize he was all in with that attack and he still got slapped down. But in general, you really never want to get behind in upgrades against Protoss. Because if you fight 1-1 against 2-2, you need an absolute miracle fight to make that happen. Or you need to sit at home behind a wall, which... Dude, look at this. This is literally a pure... I've never seen this before, I think. Normally, you always have submarines, you know? This was literally 12 Marauders and a few medevacs. Did lose a bunch of medevacs for that, though, so probably not the greatest trade. And it was probably an observer that saw that attack, I guess, because I was a bit shocked. I was gonna say puzzled, but I was a bit shocked that Puzzle was actually in position there for that so well. But let's see what he does now. Armory goes down. Ghost Academy goes down as well. That's a decent timing for the Ghost Academy for sure. I think, honestly, he could have maybe even have built it faster. I'm not sure what the Liberators are for. If these Liberators are for harassment, I'm really gonna love it. If they're not for harassment, I'm not gonna be as much of a fan, to be honest. Puzzle is going for disruptors. I really like the tanks even more now, because Puzzle actually did not commit to playing like Zealot Archon after that, but he's actually going into disruptors and having 4 tanks against that is super nice. Also getting the sensor tower at his third. I have to say, I really like the timings of how he builds his stuff, because I feel like he just has a bit more supply than I would expect. Like, he didn't get the sensor tower fast, but he got it in time. You know, he skipped Marines so he could afford to make more barracks and stuff. I feel like I really like the way he handled his production and everything. Now, he hasn't scanned for an observer, so I'm starting to feel... Oh, there we go. I was starting to feel like there must be one around, because he hasn't scanned for one. I wouldn't be surprised if it's still there somewhere. Let's see. Oh, he only has vision with Zealots, actually. Does he have observers? He only has defense... I don't know what this one is doing. He only has defensive observers. That's a little bit surprising. But even at this point, obviously Vindicta is doing great, right? But I feel like ending games against Protoss when they have 6 disruptors, they're on 4 bases, still gets really difficult. So I would love to see how he does it. Now, did he actually send his Liberators out? Is that a Liberator in the natural right now? By any chance? It looks like it is a Liberator, judging from the minimap. There we go. That's the shift click power, guys. He didn't even have to look at it. That was fantastic. I wonder where the other Liberators. Oh, that's cool. It's an anti-Zealot Liberator. Wow, okay. I think in this case, I would have maybe liked more if it was an aggressive Liberator, because Vindicta did get himself a little bit ahead. And maybe with a few more good moves, he would be able to finish the game. But in general, Liberators to defend the base like that is very good. Not just for Zealots, but also for follow-up Dark Templars. Which can cause so many problems. And one Lib, obviously you'll lose your SCVs, but one Lib can actually secure your base. A very underestimated part of StarCraft is actually just securing positions on the map, securing bases. If you only have 3 bases, it's really hard to take the 4th one. But if you never lose one of your bases, then you can actually start building further. I feel like I didn't explain that very well, but hopefully you guys know what I meant. Alright, so he's gonna go in. He has an EMP. But I'd love for him to EMP all those cannons. But yeah. Honestly, against disruptors, I'm always scared. Especially if my friends are playing against them. I'm like, oh no, it's about to happen, isn't it? The disruptor is about to kill absolutely everything. So far, so good, though. I like how Puzzle only has +1 still. Like, the upgrades are actually insane. If Vindicta gets, like, any kind of a concave here on the army, you would absolutely destroy Puzzle. Absolutely destroy. Like, if you look at the armies here, his army is basically disruptors. That's all he's banking on. Good balls, though. Little bit of a counterattack, but Vindicta is very ready for that. And now he's gonna go in. All the balls are gone. EMP's... Oh my god, I feel like everything just disappeared. EMP land. Look at the disruptor. Decent split. Could have been a bit better. Could have also been a lot worse, so I'm not gonna complain about that. Now, after defending the counterattack, he's also coming back with his main army. Or his reinforcements, rather. And the Puzzle actually has Tempest somehow. Puzzle was really going for that... greedy late game transition here. Very low supply. I honestly don't know what the Tempests are supposed to do here. I'll be honest. If those were carriers, I would definitely understand it more. Target's the last disruptor. And Puzzle seems to have nothing left after. Honestly, a brilliant fight by Vindicta. He was very patient here. That was definitely the best thing he did. He only attacked when the balls were gone. And then he took a good enough fight, honestly, to just get ahead, snowball, and win the game. And that's it for the first game. Alright, and here we have the second game. The game you guys perhaps were waiting for against Hash. Cheese Master Hash. And the first thing I noticed when I jumped into this game is that Vindicta actually went for a double gas. So he does know who he's up against, guys. Believe it or not, he is very aware of who Hash is. Else, I don't think he would be playing double gas here in this case. Goes for an early SCV scout as well. This honestly, guys, this is only something you would do if you think you're either the better player or if you play someone very cheesy. If you play double gas with SCV scout against Protoss, you're gonna be poor, but you're gonna be safe, alright? And I think honestly he's probably disappointed to see that Nexus going down at this point. If there was no Nexus, he would probably feel more comfortable in defending anything. Now, his build was probably just a little bit too safe. But in the end, it's not gonna be the biggest deal. Maybe he'll get some damage done with his units, who knows. SV is actually chilling behind there. Okay, this is very sneaky SV. He's gonna drop a bunker down. Alright then. I feel like I haven't really seen this move too much with a double gas opener. I honestly would have expected him to cut maybe one more worker out of the gas. Like, if you make a bunker as well, like, I feel like the CC is gonna be super late, right? I mean, honestly, I've never tried this, so I can't say for sure. Looks like the bunker's actually gonna get up, though. Haas has no idea. His pylon wasn't finished, so it didn't give him the vision. And yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a pretty nice start. Especially because the first unit is an adept. Adepts do not really damage bunkers. If that first unit was a stalker, that would be a lot more scary. Let's see. I have no idea where they're both looking at this point. Let's see. Okay, Vindicta saves this. Gonna keep marking. There's also a probe in his main. That probe should just die. Wait, I don't think he knows there's a probe in his main. Wait, where did the probe go? Did it recall or did it die? Now I'm actually very confused. Oh, it did die. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm a bad observer, guys. My bad. Don't blame me. I'm new to this stuff, okay? So Vindicta is actually gonna go up to 5 units with this. Interesting. Gonna get the starport after that and probably make some add-ons. Now, the thing with this kind of builds is that you can't commit to it too much, because as soon as the battery finishes, the rush is effectively over. So you can do damage, but at this point, you're just buying time, you know? Like, nothing can die under this battery. So yeah, at this point you might as well salvage the bunker, you know. Save the money, get your Reaper out, though this Reaper can probably not survive. Maybe if he gets like a really cool grenade here, I can actually see it happen. Let's see, he's also planning to do an attack here. Let's see how he's going to execute this. He tries to get in, but there's a wall. He might actually kill this adept. Oh, I think he could have killed that. The battery was closed though, so I totally understand that he didn't go for it. Now at the same time, I was actually, I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was scrolling a lot over the map. And I was really wondering if he uses 2 army hotkeys for this. Because he was definitely scrolling all over the place, trying to grab his units. And at home, I think he made a Cyclone, followed by a tank. Scouts the... Was that a gateway? The Twilight was in the front. I was about to say, scouts the Twilight because I saw Blink in production. But then the Twilight was actually right here. This is honestly a very questionable move by Haas, if you think about it. To have the Twilight in the wall there. Makes it very easy to scout. Though I guess if you see this against Haas, you're probably like, okay, this has to be a mind game, right? There's no way he's just straight up making Blink with a Twilight there. You know what I always say, the cheesiest thing a cheeser can do is play a macro game, guys. And sometimes, I think especially in Haas' case, it's definitely true. But like his macro games, they end up working a lot, and it's mostly because no one believes it, you know. Right now, even if I was Mix or a Vindicta, I would make a bunker, you know. It's, yeah. Like, Haas definitely benefits from his reputation when he does play macro games. I do really like Vindicta's build here. Going 1-1-1 with the Cloak Banshee and the tanks. I think this is a very good build against Blink, actually. I mean, it's definitely stoppable, but I feel like it gives you a good amount of opportunity to harass, to get a nice push in. In general, I would like this builders with Vindicta. I'm not sure about the early game, though. I feel like I've never really done this from a 5-unit double gas. So, I'm not sure exactly how the timings are going to work out, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. Banshee's gonna go by. I do think in general, by the way, I don't know how many of you guys are gonna be playing an important tournament against Haas anytime soon. But against Haas, it's really good to go for Cloak Banshee because he honestly just tends to skip the Robo forever. And I think he's doing this exactly in this game. He has no Robo. He has, you know, 3 Nexi, a double Forge, and that's it. He has batteries, which are good against Banshees. And that's about it. Like, very typically, if he does play these macro games, he goes full greed. So the fact that Vindicta went for a Banshee is actually a great move. But at the same time, I feel like there's so many mind games in play here. Because Vindicta, I think he would have gone in with his tank push. If it wasn't Haas, like he saw a few units, probably felt like he was about to be all in. And he pulled back his entire army, put up all this defensive setup here in the main with the tank and stuff. And I think if this was maybe a different player than Haas, I wouldn't be surprised if he would actually just go for it. Now, these Banshees are going to kill 5 million probes, probably. Let's see how that goes. Like, there's just no Robo here, guys. This, honestly, at least 20 pros it should be, I think. Or maybe 15. He is making cannons. That's, like, the best thing he can do. Go to the natural, please. Kill him. So far, we're at 6 probes. There's a cannon being built. He did pull the probes away. Good move. But he actually left them right there. So, then it doesn't really matter, right? If you do it like that. Let's see. We're going to go up to 10. There you go. Yeah, like I said, should be at least 15. Looks like it's going to be 18 probes here. The main is still available to attack, though. Keep in mind there's Blink, of course. Let's see. An 18th one. There we go. It's actually going to sacrifice the Banshees. Alright, 19 probes. Yeah. That's a ridiculous amount of damage. I think... Oh, he did forget Stim, actually, it seems like. That's a very late Stim pack. Okay, that makes me a little bit worried. As a Terran, you can actually lose some ridiculous games if they hit a timing before you have Stim. Like, Marines without Stim are just so bad. They're basically like Zealots without charge, Lings without speed. Like, they just don't do anything. So, Haas is going to have 1-1 plus charge. And honestly, I would really love to see some bunkers going down now. Because, yeah, without Stim, I feel like this is the only way you can lose. For the people looking at the supply and being like, well, it's pretty close. If you're even in workers as a Terran against Protoss in the early mid-game, you're doing good. Vindicta has been up 5 workers for a little bit, which means he's honestly doing fantastic against Haas here in this game. Yeah, the most worrying thing is just any kind of timing coming in. Let's see if Haas is planning to do that. He is making a prism, but it's not there yet, so it looks like he is going to go for a timing. Yeah, I would really like to see a bunker here. I called it even before I saw the attack coming, because right now, that's just the only way for Vindicta to really lose this game anytime soon. Even if he makes 2 extra bunkers, he's going to be in a fine position. And there you go, he's actually making that extra bunker, even without the vision. Very good awareness here. Haas is not even making any more probes or upgrades beyond 50. Like, literally all Vindicta has to do in this game is survive, and survive well enough. This is a really good move. I'm going to touch on it real quick. These turrets into the main. Fantastic move if you're in defensive position, because a prism could legit end the game still. And Vindicta is just shutting that down by making turrets there. A really good move. Getting a fast Ghost Academy as well. I feel like whenever Haas plays macro games, he does like to go into Storm. Prism is exactly shut down by the turrets. Oh man, I love it when I'm proven right. Just after I cast. Amazing feeling, guys, I promise. He is going up to 6 gases, however, which is weird. Haas realizes his attack is not going to work out. Starts 2-2. But, yeah, he could have done it a lot faster. Like, he definitely wanted to make something happen. Realized he couldn't. His plan was to warp into the main, run into the turret at the same time, most likely. And now he's stuck taking his 4th base. Knowing Haas, he's probably going to stay on very... He only has 2 gas. I was going to say 3 gases. He only has... Haas plays this so extreme. He's only on 2 gases. He's probably going to go up to like 15 gateways at some point. He's on 8 right now. He's making a Robo-Bait. That does kind of surprise me, to be honest. I feel like Haas is definitely more of a Storm kind of guy. Like a nice Storm Prism. Yeah, one small criticism I have of Vindicta in these games is that I feel like the Observers definitely live too long. I always say it to my students. I say it to every Terran that asks. Observers are just insane. If you ever play PvT from the Protoss perspective, if you have Observers, the game becomes really easy. Like this, you know, Haas doesn't have to worry about anything at all. He sees the entire army. You know, it's the same by seeing drops. And if you don't have Observers, all of a sudden you have to worry about everything. You have to start making pylons all across. You have to start putting Stalkers in your main, even if you don't need them. And the game is just a completely different game without Observers. Killing Observers, the game becomes twice as easy for you and twice as hard for them. Because your moves are stronger, all their moves are worse. Oh, we might lose this sensor tower. It makes me sad. Sensor towers are like the best thing Terran has, actually. Sensor towers are so good, man. It's actually crazy how good sensor towers are. Ah, he's going for disruptors. Okay. Honestly, I feel like I don't remember seeing Haas play with disruptors. I think one time in a PvP I've seen him do it. I don't know how good his PvT disruptors are, though. Alright, let's go back to Vindicta's POV. I feel like this is probably around the time where he would want to move out. He's approaching max. He has Ghost and tanks. As you can see, Haas did catch up in the supply. So Haas's army is actually not going to be that bad, guys. He's going to have 2-2, meaning 2 upgrades ahead. And the army supply is honestly going to be pretty similar. Both on 70 workers as well. Haas getting the Warp Prism speed upgrade. Warp Prisms with speed, they can probably even fly over 2 turrets. Like, it's actually nuts how much they can get done. Okay, the Haas actually attacking here. Now, honestly, without disruptors, there's not much to worry about. If you have the Ghost, you should be shredding a gateway army. Well, I mean, against 2 upgrades I had, maybe not that much, but with the Ghost, I feel like Vindicta should still be able to take a pretty good trade. And yeah, it's really the disruptors that can kill 30 supply and end the game in one go. Because Haas is a very mobile army. If a disruptor would get 30 supply, he would probably attack in and win the game. So he does have to be very careful with that. Prism bit speed. Actually, it got killed by the 2 turrets. It tried to fly by the 2 turrets, but it barely got killed. Perfect. That's balance right there. I love to see it. Now, I do wonder when Vindicta is going to do something, though. Because I know Haas is, you know, not the greatest macro player ever. A very cheesy player, relies on attacks, but at some point, if you get the Protoss too much freedom, Haas is going to be on 7 bases and he'll be able to warp in 20 DTs and stuff like that, right? So I would expect Vindicta to do something. Looks like he's going to move out now. Keep in mind, he's still 2 upgrades down. I really love that Liberate harass, by the way. I feel like I really haven't been doing that at all recently. And it's just so nice to see. Okay, good EMPs there. Gets the splits as well. Meanwhile, trading really good on the bottom side because Haas was not up to the multitasking there of Vindicta. Good trades all over the place. Now Haas going for a counterattack. You have to go back. Good decision by Vindicta there. Oh, even split up a few units there. That's really where that speed is kicking in. Let's see what's the APM. 433 average APM, guys, by Vindicta. Attacking on the bottom right. Splitting off an army well. Doing the crisis management at the same time, killing another base. This little sequence of moves was honestly awesome by Vindicta here. Sniping 2 bases, defending the thing at home. Honestly, I don't think he lost any SCV or anything like that at all. That was just perfect. Getting his Liberator transition up at the same time as well. And this is just looking very clean. Obviously, one thing that's really good about trades like this is that you kind of want to lose units at some point so you can actually make Liberators. Now, this trade is not even losing units in the main. Look at that trade. Beautiful choke. Let me just go, like, all these zealots just running in here. This was actually a fantastic trade for Vindicta. Killing this base at the same time. And honestly, he's just all over the place right now. Getting more CCs, more barracks as well. I guess he's on 5 barracks right now. Yeah, he is on 5. 2 starports. That's a pretty good setup. Now, the only thing that's not too useful here are the tanks, honestly. Tanks are so bad against zealots. But yeah, I mean, he's actually going to get target fire on the stalkers there, which is really not that bad. Let's see, he's getting a flank on this army. Okay, I thought he was going to get the ghost, but he does dodge a disruptor there, which is very nice. And Haas is going on a full-on counterattack. I think Vindicta's probably going to send everything back. Except for maybe that little front squad. I mean, honestly, he's done enough economic damage that he just needs to clean up the army and he would win this game. The EMP's absolutely massive here. And at the end of all of that, 4 base against 3 base even. Well, he actually got that Nexus? No way. 4 base against 3 base. Really good position here for Vindicta. He's getting his Liberators up. Does get flanked a little bit, but most of Haas's army is kind of derping on the top here. Wow, even EMPing the Disruptor. Beautiful move, snipes it down. And yeah, these trades are just not good enough for Haas at this point. Look at the supply, 50 supply up. No eco, no army. Honestly, this was a beautiful game by Vindicta. You know, I was proud when I saw the results, but now I'm even more proud because that was honestly insane. Really good multitasking. The APM there went crazy. 587 APM there at the end. Absolute nutter. And yeah, just fantastic games by my boy. Just so you guys know, if you're still watching and you really enjoy this gameplay, Vindicta also does have a YouTube channel. I think it's Vindicta_SC2. Make sure to check that out. Give a sub to my channel as well if you haven't. And hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Adios.